Welcome to TestNG Framework Training Session 8. This is Haradhan once again as usual. In this session, I will discuss how invocation count, skip failed invocations and invocation timeout attributes work in TestNG. Thank you all for watching my videos. In case you are enjoying my videos and learning automation testing along with Java, please like and share my videos. Do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as and when I will upload any new videos. Please provide your valuable comment for any input or suggestion. Stay tuned for my next videos. So what does it mean by invocation count? First you need to understand. After that we will proceed to the next remaining two attributes available in the TestNG. So invocation count is TestNG is an attribute that defines number of time a test method should be invoked or executed before executing any other test method. If the invocation count, suppose say if 4, then the test method will be executed 4 times before executing to the other method. Okay. suppose whenever you are dealing with you are writing a test script for any data creation, right? You need to create the data multiple times, right? So instead of writing the same code repetitive lines, you can enter the simply the invocation count so that the same combination same script will run 5 or 6 times and different 5 or 6 data combination will be created, right? So after that it will proceed to the next methods. Okay, so here I will show you in the Eclipse how you can introduce the invocation count and implement in the TestNG framework, right? So here I have created a class invocation TestNG, invocation in TestNG, that is the TestNG class I have created. So by default at the rate test annotation is coming, so I can change the method name invocation attribute. I am changing the method name. Okay. Suppose simply I am just want to print the word as TestNG. Okay. I want to print the word. So in the method, right? So if you run the method, you can see it will be executed, and you can see in the console test case will pass status, right? And you can see the TestNG is coming in the console, right? And pass status invocation attribute, that is the method name, it is getting passed, right? Now in case the same method need to be run 5 times 10 times like that, just I already given the example, right? Suppose test data creation part, right? Suppose whenever you want to create some specific data with the same set of combination multiple times, so that with the data you can do some post transactions, right? So you need to just create the data, right? So this data creation part we can use the invocation. So here you need to simply change the invocation count, right? That is the parameter you need to use, invocation count. Okay, so here in the test annotation you need to simply give pass bracket and need to enter the invocation count. Suppose if I want to run it 6 times, right? So you need to use invocation count equal to 6. Okay, now let's run it and let's see, right, how many times it is getting run and how many times it is getting output. You can see total number of, right, iteration is 6. You can see all with the timeout, and if you go to the failed test case and summary, you can see number of method count is 6 because same method executed 6 times, right? And if you here you can see number of tests run 6, failure 0, right? And if you can go to the console output, right? TestNG 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and the test case same test case run, right, 6 times. Okay, now say another test case, there is another test case. Another test case or method is there. Okay, so I am just removing that part and I am changing it to simply 1 and 1, TestNG 1, and output will be TestNG 1 and method name is 1. Okay, let's run the code and let's see. So here, as this is the method, right, invocation count, and you can give the priority in case one to priority, but obviously it will be executed first and it will be executed next, because first part invocation count is same, and right, the method name one is amended here. Okay, so here the first method will be run 6 times, after that the next method will be executed. So that is the important. It is not like that it will be executed by one and next method will be executed and the next 5 iterations will be executed. It will not be like that. Okay, let's run the code. Let's see. So here two method is there. One is the invocation attribute and the invocation attribute one, right? So the output for invocation attribute is testng, and here output is testng one, right? That particular method will run 6 times, or maybe change it to 8 times. Let's see how it is running and how the output is being displayed. So if you go to the all test case, you can see invocation attribute first it is running 8 times, right? After that invocation attribute 1 is running. Okay, you can see total number of run is 9, failure 0. Okay, you can see the output is coming for the that invocation count method, right? 8 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the method testng 1 is coming for the invocation attribute 1. And if you go to the past status, you can see, right? If you want to check from the output folder, right, if just you need to refresh it, and if you click here, you can see number of execution is total 9, ignored 0, fail 0, and all method will be come with status as fast, right? Invocation attribute with the duration, task time, and fail time. Okay, now suppose here let's fail the test case and let's see what is happening. So how can I fail it? I can use some assert dot assert equals. Okay, suppose I am giving the actual as 5 and expected will be 6, so it will be failed, right? So my first test case will be failed, and let's run and let's see how it is behaving, the output how it is coming. You can see, so all the test case will be failed, right? All the iteration will be failed. Okay, and here the second test case is getting first, right? Because it is no, I mean assert statement was there, right? You can see total number of run is 9, failure 8, right? And you can see here testng output will be coming because it was before the assertion part, so it will be coming, but the overall status is only one test case pass and invocation attribute 1 and the rest of the test case is failed with the condition, right? Assertion error expected 6 but found as 5. Okay, similarly for the rest of the test case, right? You can see for all the iteration will be fail status. Okay, and the failure exception will be coming here. So overall status will fail, and you can see fail test status is 8, right? Total 1, 2, 1 by 8, 2 by 8, 3 by 8, 4 by 8, like that. Okay. So in case I know that some of the test case can fail, so instead of executing the failed test case again and again, I can skip the test case. Only one test case will be failed and the rest of the test case will be skipped. Though I am introducing the invocation count, right? So how can I handle this thing? So here you need to use the skip fail invocations particular attribute, right? In case skip fail invocation set to true and invocation count is specified with a value greater than 1, then all invocation after a failure will be marked as skip instead of fail. So it will save your execution time. Suppose your particular method can take 2 minutes time to execute, right? But in for a particular reason method is failing. So in case you are not mentioning scheme failed in invocation, so all the 10 iterations, suppose in giving the invocation count is 10, so all the 10 iterations will be executed and it will take 20 minutes time, right? But it will take 20 minutes, all the discuss will be failed at the end of the day, at the end of the result, right? But if you mention skip failed invocation count true, so only one test case will be failed and rest of the test case will be, rest of the iteration will be skipped instead of execution. So only it will take 2 minutes. So you can save 18 minutes, right? So that is the reason it is very much important in the testng framework, right? So here I will just simply introduce another attribute here in @test annotation and I will mention at true. Okay, and let's see the impact here. Here it is failing, right? So you can see the impact. Only one test case is getting failed an assertion is here getting failed, so next test case will be not be executed, it will be skipped, right? Sorry, my next iteration will be skipped, but next test case will be executed. You can see next test case is passed and only one test case is getting failed and all the other test cases getting skipped here, all the other iteration, right? You can see only coming 1 by 8, 1 by 8, not 2 by 8, 3 by 8, 7 by 8 like that. Okay, so you can see invocation attribute all are skipped. 7 will be skipped, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is will be skipped, right? And if you go to the console details, only one output is coming, test ng, right? Not all the iteration and test ng 1 for the next test case, right? And invocation attribute 1 is passed, invocation attribute 2 is getting failed because of failure. So that's why it plays a pivotal role, right? Skipped failed invocation. So in case you are not entering that attribute, so it will try to run all the iterations and it will just display the result and it will take time. But in case if you mention this thing, so in case any of the test case is getting failed, any particular disk is getting failed, it will not run for the other iteration, but in case it is not failed, it will definitely run it. So let's change it to 5. So before changing it to 5, so here if you refresh the page, refresh the output folder, and if you click on the result, you can see the only total number of test cases executed is true, passed one, failed one, and skipped, right? Here also it is not being displayed, okay, because that will be skipped here. Okay, it will not be executed, it will not be counted as well. Here in the overall result will not be counted. Okay, that is the important specification of that particular attribute, skip fail invocation. So now if you change it to 5, okay, so let's see how it is happening, how it is behaving actually. So you can see, so in case the test case is failed, no assertion is failure, so invocation counter will not, skip fail invocation will not be placed in pivotal role, right? But in case you know that sometimes it can fail, so it is obviously you can also enter that particular attribute in at the right test annotation. So in case it is not failing, it will not impact anything. You can see all the test cases passed status, right? 9 test cases passed status. And summary, you can go to summary, you can see total number of method executed 9, and here also in the console 9 and failure 0, and you can see all the 9 coming, right? And also the past status is coming. Okay, so I think you understand the importance of invocation count and the skip fail invocations, that particular two attribute, right? Now I am just commenting this line of code. I will give you some actual examples. Sorry, here I can't to make it. Instead of that I can remove it, that one. So I will deal with this particular any web page. Okay, so here I am creating a object or instance for the WebDriver interface. So I need to import the WebDriver interface from the selenium.openqa.packages. Then I will just simply copy paste the lines to launch the Facebook page. Okay, so here I need to import the Chrome driver class from the org.openqa.selenium.chrome, so it will launch the browser. Okay, so now I am just cutting this thing, so I will not want to run anything. Okay, and here I just simply run it. You can see it will be run and it will launch the Facebook page. And the test case will be passed data, right? You can see test case will be passed status. Test case is passed, right? Now if I enter here some invocation count, okay, suppose I want to execute 3 times, say, and skipped in fail invocation, I can make it true. Okay, in case it is not failing, so it will be not have any impact. And here I want to store the title diver dot get title into some variable, right? Suppose string title. Okay, then I want to add some assertion point dot assert equals, I want to check the expected and the actual string value. So actual will be my title and expected for the Facebook page, that is the expected one, right? Facebook login or sign up. So that should come. Okay, then I will quit the diver. Otherwise, every time it will open the diver. Diver dot quit. Okay. So here I have mentioned invocation count as 3 and skip fail invocation count as true. Okay. So in case it is not failing, it will try to execute 3 times, right? And let's see whether my title is coming, right? And also here, if you want to print it, the title, you can print it. Okay, so every time it will be executed and it will try to validate the actual title, the expected title. Okay, and it will also, right, give me the title in the consoles as an output, and it will close the browsers. Okay, so let's run the code and let's see. So it is launching the Chrome divers browsers, then it will pass the Facebook URL, right, and it will take the titles and it will close the browsers. So one done, and again it will launch the Chrome divers. It will pass the URL for Facebook. After maximizing it, it will get the title. It will print it in the console. You can see immediately, like output is coming and test case iteration is coming, right? In the right hand side, test result sections. Okay, so you can see total number of run is 3 on same test case because invocation count was 3, and you can see in the right hand side all are past status because the title is getting matched, and in the console you can get the title, right? The Facebook login or sign up, it is matching. That is the reason no failure, right? The total number of test cases executed, same test case executed 3 times and all are in past status. If you go to the output folder, refresh it, and if you go to the test.ng XML file, you can see the number of test cases executed 3, pass 3, right? And invocation count attribute, that is the test case executed, and all will be past status. Total number of durations, right? All will be is taking like 40 seconds, 40 second 0.702 millisecond, 12 second to 4.2 millisecond, and 13 second 4.0 millisecond, 406 millisecond. Okay, now let's change the title, expected title, to 1 so obviously it will not get match, right? But as I am mentioned the skip fail invocation count to true, so it will be rest of the iteration will be skipped. But in case you are not mentioning, so it will try to execute 3 times, 3 iteration, right? So in case you are mentioning the skip fail invocation to true, yeah, to equal to true, so in case test case is not failing, it will try to run all the iteration, but it is in case failing, so it will run only one iteration, it will fail the test case and the remaining iteration will be skipped. Okay, let's run the code and let's see what is happening. So it will open the Chrome browsers, it will maximize it, it will pass the URL for, right, Facebook. After that it will try to match with the expected with the title actual. In case it is not matching, it will not close the browser because the diver.quit is in the last step, and it will also not run the next of the iteration, right? So it is not closing. Okay, so if you can see the test cases get failed and next two iteration will be skipped. You can see test case run is 3, failure 1, skip 2, right? And here 1 is cross sign, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, the rest will be skipped, and one test case is taking 16 second, 91 millisecond. And if you go to the console, you can see the output is Facebook login app or sign up page, the test case is getting failed because that is expected was that and actually is coming at that. So assertion is getting failed. So that is the reason quit is not happening. So this is the hard assertion, right? So you can refer to my assertions topics where I already mentioned all the type of assertion, hard assertion, soft assertion. So for the hard assertion, in case it is getting failed, it will not proceed to the next step of the same method. But in case of soft assertion, in case though it is getting failed, but it will proceed to the next step as well. Okay. And for the rest of the, you can see this, the rest of the iteration got skipped. Okay, so that is the importance of invocation count and the skip fail invocation attribute in the TestNG framework. So today's last topic I want to discuss about the invocation timeout, that attribute. So what does it mean by invocation timeout? So invocation timeout only applicable when there is any invocation counter mentioned, otherwise it will not play any role because that is specific to invocation only. So you already gone through the timeout options. So it is similar to timeout. So invocation timeout is the maximum number of milliseconds that the total number of invocation on this test method should take. Okay. Suppose in case I am giving the invocation timeout as suppose 30 seconds, and in case I am giving the total number of iteration is 5. So obviously 5 iterations should be completed within 30 seconds. In case it is not completing, so it will be fail, right? This annotation will be ignored if the attribute invocation is count is not specified at all, right? So it will be ignored. Suppose here I want to give the invocation timeout here instead of skip fail invocation. Okay. Suppose timeout I want to mention as suppose say 25 seconds. That means 25,000 milliseconds. So here you can say one iteration is taking 16.09 seconds. So obviously it will not be possible to complete 3 iterations within the time, right? And here I want to pass the test case. Okay, so that expected title is getting matched with the actual result. Okay, now let's see if you run it, because whenever you are mentioning invocation timeout, so obviously within 25 seconds all the 3 iterations should be executed, but in case it is not executed it will fail the rest of the iteration. Okay, and in test case is not getting filled because the assertion should pass here. Okay, but all 3 iterations will not be completed because the timeout, total timeout is 25 seconds and one iteration is taking around close 6 to 17 seconds. Okay, let's run the code and let's see what is happening, how many iteration is getting passed and how many iteration is getting failed because of the invocation timeout. I already mentioned 25 seconds and number of iteration is 3 here. So first completed and second it is trying to launch. Now after that you can see nothing is happening, right? Because the timeout already spent, 25 seconds already spent. So that is the reason. And the second iteration it is getting failed. It is not closing. So you can see, right? Run one, failure one. Because one is taking much time maybe. Okay, you can see the failure reason. Okay, first test case got fast, first iteration got fast. Okay, so if you go to the summary, only one method count is 1, and if you go to the test case, overall test case is getting failed. Okay, so fast iteration got fast, but overall test case is not getting fast, right? That is the reason it will fail. You can see fail. The reason is that, right, invocation count did not finish within the time 25 seconds, right? So that is the reason it is getting failed. Okay, so that is also one another important attribute whenever you are mentioning the invocation count 3. Now let's change it to suppose say 70 seconds, but obviously it will pass it, right? So if you run it, you can see all the iteration will be passed successfully because 3 iteration will maximum take 50 seconds and you have given invocation timeout as 70 seconds, so it will be passed. It's similar to timeout only, but here invocation timeout is maximum number of iteration timeout. In case all the iteration is not completing within the stipulated time frame, so your next of the iteration will not be run. Your overall test case status will be fail status. Okay, you can see. second iteration also run, and third iteration is trying to run it, and it will try to display the title, and it will try to match the title as well. You can see it is counting as one test case only, right? So that is the, I mean, one important aspect. Okay, invocation attribute. And here you can see total number of run is 1 and total number of failure is 0. Okay, and three time output is coming, right? Login, sign up, login, sign up, and login, sign up, and number of test cases first is showing as 1 only. Okay, in case if you mention the invocation timeout, so it will display the result multiple times, but it will be counted as one test case, not the multiple iteration test case. Okay, so that's the three important attribute whenever you want to run the test case, same test case multiple times, right? Okay, so you need to use the invocation count equal to that particular count. In case you know that test case can fail, so you need to use the skip fail invocation equal to true, so that in case of failure the rest of the iteration will be skipped. And even in case if you want to give some timeout for the invocation, so you need to use the invocation timeout, that particular attribute, and you need to give some millisecond timeout. So within that particular millisecond all the iterations should be completed, otherwise your test case will be failed. Okay, and in case you are not mentioning the invocation timeout, so other two attributes there is no such importance of these two attributes, because those skip fail and invocation timeout attributes only applicable whenever you are mentioning the invocation count as any value more than 1. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Thank you.